perform fellatio on me and you get your deal. That was what I heard while I was on Empire about some of the people in the business. And Petey Pablo, you remember Petey Pablo?
I know who that is.
Petey Pablo, talented writer, singer. Him and Young Buck wrote a song called Ho Is Home. And in that song, back in about 2011 or 29 or something, because he called out all of the taking place at those parties and those people, he was kicked out of the music business.
I was 19 minutes, I had 19 minutes, no more cap. No cap. I thought it was gonna be cold out here, it feel good as hell. Nice and brown.
It's a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything. And it was just an escape for me. I was just young, like everybody in the industry and people in the world. I started valuing the wrong things in this business because there was things dangling in front of me. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I do this, I'll be happy.
Rappers, they're all so tough until you hear their real name.
Yeah, well, until you see them at a Puffy party.
Oh.
Then they're not tough no more. I'm surprised that the rap game is still alive because the masculinity that the rappers are supposed to portray.
I was already 20-something years old and I'm sleeping on somebody's couch. I'm staying in New York. I'm the only thing, because I've never been a slouch, so the only thing that I know that I can do for the people that I'm staying with is make sure that they house clean and make sure that they dishes washed and, make sure if they needed something from the store, I would run to the store for them. But I was that dude before I went to prison. I was that, my money was straight. I was the big dog before I went. And so here I am now washing people's dishes and, sweeping their house up. And it was hard for a dude that was on a certain level in life, as a street guy, to have to humble himself to just survive.
Imagine waking up one morning to realize that everything you thought you knew about your favorite artists, your favorite songs, your favorite red carpet moments, was a carefully constructed lie. What if the smiles, the awards, the sold-out tours were never about talent or passion, but about who could survive the industry's dark, twisted playground? Today, we're diving headfirst into a scandal so explosive it makes Hollywood tabloids look like bedtime stories. Petey Pablo, the man who had every radio station screaming "Raise up," and Terrence Howard, the Hollywood powerhouse with charm dripping off every word, are coming forward with secrets that will make your jaw drop. They're not just spilling tea, they're dumping the entire pot, revealing a world where loyalty is a myth, morality is a liability, and fame is currency for compliance. Can you handle the truth behind the velvet ropes and flashing cameras? Are you ready to see the industry's golden faces crack and reveal the machinery grinding artists into silence? Buckle up, because this isn't just a story, it's a full-blown expose, a journey into corruption, manipulation, and chaos that's been hiding in plain sight. You thought Petey Pablo disappeared. You thought Terrence Howard was just acting Hollywood games. Think again. The
Terrence story, that was a whole story within itself. Anyway, because the reason that I got that role on Empire was, like Cherry said, I'm just that guy. I just so happened to run into Terrence Howard in the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was like, "Hey, what's up, man? That's Terrence, the Hustle and Flow. Oh man, what's up?" He's like, "Man, I listen to all your stuff." He was like, even when I was on Hustle and Flow, he was like, "I listen to your music." He said I was trying to act like Petey Pablo, and that's crazy to me.
You did.
So I said, "Hey man, we all going out. What's up? You want to come out?" And he was like, "Nah, man, I'm going through a little something right now, man. I lost my wallet, lost my credit cards and everything, so I'm just going up to my room, man." So I was like, "Damn, you lost?" So I reached in my pocket and pulled out $200. He was like, "Here, take it." He was like, "Yeah." He was like, I was like, "No, man, you just don't be walking around with nothing in your pocket. Like, here."
Oh, that's
and I gave him the money and I walked off. So fast forward, 13 years later, I get a phone call. And this is a couple years ago. He was like, "Is this Petey?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "First of all, I need you to see." He's like, "This is Terrence Howard." I was like, "Damn, what's up, bro? I ain't heard from you, yeah. Last time," he was like, "Yeah, last time I seen you, yeah, something happened between us, and I need you to send me your address because I owe you some money. And I was like, nah, bro, you don't owe me no money. He was like, bro, send me your address or I'm going to hang the phone up and and you'll never hear from me again. So I'm like, okay. So I give him my phone, my address. 2 days later, I get a check for $15,000.
Dang, what a great investment.
Crazy, right? Crazy. So I called him back and I was like, bro, he was like, listen, you do not realize that at that time, I didn't lose my wallet. He was like, I just said that because I was so embarrassed that I was going through what I was going through in life. And he was like, effortlessly, you just reached in your pocket and handed me money and didn't really even know me. You knew me from watching me on TV. You know, we had never had a conversation or anything. And he was like, and people that I've known for years had denied me at that point in time in his life. And he was like, and he was really in a bad place. He was like, for me to reach in my pocket and effortlessly just do an act of kindness that way, he was like, it changed his thought about life. And I was like, man, that's really crazy. He was like, now we got that out of the way. Now I need you to help me on this empire system. The actual truth. Straight up, hey, you better get your mind right because this is what's going on. And that's what I've always been on. I'm like, hey, man, telling the truth is the coolest. You know what I mean? Lying and fronting and putting on and stunting. Like, you talking about Ferraris and Lamborghinis. A lot of people ain't never gonna even see these cars in real.
The question is no longer what happened. The real question is, who's next to fall, and could it be your favorite star? Stay close, because what we're about to uncover will change how you see everything you thought you knew about music, fame, and the people pulling the strings behind the scenes. Alright, buckle up, because the first layer of this scandal is about to blow the roof off. Petey Pablo, the guy who had every club, every block, every car stereo screaming "Raise Up," isn't just a rapper who vanished overnight. He's the poster child for what happens when talent meets the wrong kind of truth. And then there's Terrence Howard, Hollywood's golden boy, whose smile hides a history most people couldn't even imagine. You see, both of them stumbled onto something that the industry desperately wants to keep buried: the unspoken rules of fame, the hidden contracts, and the pay-to-play secrets that dictate who rises and who gets obliterated. Sources whisper that Petey Pablo was told early on that if he didn't play the game in certain exclusive circles, the radio stops spinning, the tours dry up, and the social media hype disappears faster than free champagne at a billionaire's party. And Terrence, let's just say the roles that were practically handed to him evaporated the moment he refused to bend to the whims of executives who treat morality as a bargaining chip. From the outside, it looked like a meteoric rise. Award shows.
Yeah, you can have a deal. Perform fellatio on me, and you get your deal. That was what I heard while I was on Empire about some of the people in the business. And Petey Pablo, you remember Petey Pablo?
I know who that is.
Petey Pablo, talented writer, singer. Him and Young Buck wrote a song called Ho Is On. And in that song, back in about 2011 or 29 or something, because he called out all of the taking place at those parties and those people, he was kicked out of the music business. No radio station would play his stuff. So you look for Petey Pablo, he's not around anymore. But that song, Ho It's On, they did not, and they went all in on it.
Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They not seeing the victim. They not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed him and got custody of him and promised to look after him. And then he sent him to the diddler. Does that sound like a good guy?
It's horrible.
Does that sound like a good guy? Now that we know what Diddy's really like, what kind of asshole do you gotta be to take another boy, another talented boy, and put him in your place so it ain't gotta be you?
Those platinum plaques, red carpet glamour. But behind the scenes, insiders claim there were meetings in dimly lit hotel suites where whispers carried more weight than contracts. Allegedly, executives held sway over careers not just through money, but through manipulation, intimidation, and the careful curation of public perception. Petey reportedly started noticing how quickly friends and collaborators vanished once he questioned the system. And Terrence. He apparently endured offers so ludicrously unethical that even seasoned veterans in the industry blinked twice in disbelief. An anonymous source who claims to have attended one such meeting said, "It wasn't about talent or work ethic, it was about control. They were testing who would comply and who would be erased." Petey's refusal to submit became a case study in how quickly the machine can crush a star. And Terrence's quiet defiance became a warning to anyone thinking of stepping off the scripted path. But let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't just a story of one or two artists. This is a systemic operation, a machine where stars are pawns, and compliance is the only currency that matters. Sources hint that lavish parties, secret bonuses, and exclusive events weren't just perks. They were tools to bind loyalty, to keep everyone in line, and to make sure that the next rising talent understood their place. Petey Pablo, with his street-smart honesty and refusal to be manipulated, became a target. Terrence Howard, with his towering presence and undeniable skill, became a threat. Together, their experiences reveal the chilling truth. The industry isn't glamorous. It's a battlefield where integrity comes at a cost. And the cost, sometimes it's your career, sometimes it's your reputation, and sometimes it's everything you thought you had secured. Petey Pablo's battle with the system only escalated from there. And Terrence Howard wasn't far behind, facing obstacles that would make most people crumble. Insiders claim that Petey began noticing patterns that went beyond simple politics. Patterns that suggested a meticulously orchestrated plan to maintain power and silence anyone who dared to speak. Parties with champagne towers and velvet ropes weren't just lavish shows of wealth. They were calculated tools for observation, places where loyalty could be tested and reputations quietly dismantled. One anonymous source revealed that executives would watch closely.
Speak the songs about the average everyday individual that everyone in the world can identify with. That's what makes an incredible artist. When you can say something that the bum that you call a bum on the corner can listen to and feel like you're talking about him. That's when because everybody has been down. Everybody ain't always been up. So if you can speak to people that had lived in a place that we all have lived, hey, then you have accomplished something. You know what I mean? Talking about things that are over people's head, they can't do nothing but bob to the beat because they can't identify with nothing.
Closely, rewarding compliance with opportunities that seemed golden while punishing defiance with sudden removals from projects, radio blackouts, and social media erasure. Fans might have assumed that Petey's disappearance from the charts was a career hiccup, but behind closed doors it was anything but random. A textbook case of the consequences of refusing to bend. Meanwhile, Terrence Howard found himself in a similar web, with roles that once seemed guaranteed suddenly vanishing and producers presenting offers with morally impossible choices attached. Observers described it as a psychological chess game where the stakes were not just money, but freedom and identity, and losing meant being reshaped by a system that thrived on fear and obedience. Public reactions, when they happened, were a mix of disbelief and outrage.
What I heard, he sounded like a baby when he was begging for money from Lucian Grange. You know, everybody's forgetting how he sat there and slut-shamed the shit out of Ashanti. And then talked about that music and then bragged about how he sold all of their mother publishing rights to that weirdo vampire Lucian Grange. And he sat there, I don't have to worry about BET because, you know, see, I know people like Lucian Grange, so did Diddy. Diddy, did he you too? Like, it's just...
Man.
I wouldn't be bragging. I said that. When he did the Jing Chance, I said it. That's not a flex. Bragging about Lucine Grange hooking you up don't look so good right now, do it? That ain't aging all that well. Because everybody know that Lucien has been Diddy and the Sean Carter. They sugar babies. So what the you? I'm just curious. With the Diddy doo-wop and the bop. All I can say is this. When you're used to be giving you all kinds of affection and then you don't become as popular as you get older, you still expect for people to treat you the way they treated you when you was really popping. You don't want to accept they ain't popping like.
Yet the deeper truth remained hidden. A sinister machine operating in plain sight. Rumors of lavish spending, mysterious bonuses, and exclusive privileges circulated among insiders, hinting at a network that maintained control through both enticement and intimidation. Petey's and Terrence's quiet resistance became symbolic, a flashing warning to the next wave of talent. And the more they resisted, the more the system revealed.
They accused him of fondling or touching someone at a bar.
Oh yeah,
At a bar, and then they accused him of touching some dude. A number of producers coming to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing. And I've lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means.
These things that I'm saying in Hollywood exist in religious circles, in politics, in the medical profession. It's how all cases are handled.
Yeah.
Right? So what am I saying? I'm saying if it's car theft and we're going to accuse you of having a carjacking ring, right? We're going to
revealed itself, showing just how far it would go to maintain the illusion of choice while quietly crushing integrity under the weight of manipulation and fear. As the pressure mounted, the stakes became impossible to ignore, and both Petey Pablo and Terrence Howard found themselves navigating a world where every decision could make or break their careers. Sources claim that the industry's tactics escalated from subtle manipulation to overt control, with opportunities disappearing overnight and whispers of betrayal spreading faster than any social media scandal. Petey's refusal to compromise his values led to canceled shows, radio silence, and sudden isolation from collaborators who once praised him, while Terrence faced similar hurdles. With roles he was perfect for being quietly reassigned to those who played along. The lavish parties, exclusive bonuses, and secret meetings were not just indulgences, but strategic moves designed to test loyalty and enforce compliance, and the fallout for refusing was swift and brutal. Fans unaware of the unseen machinations speculated on personal
phone calls. I ain't no friendly anyway though, you know what I'm saying? So that ain't had no type of effect on me. Like, I barely called. I ain't called. When I was on top, I ain't called. Before I got on top, like I ain't really that type. Like I'ma eat with you type. I'ma eat what I regardless, so I know that's me, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I get down, like, you know, and that's kind of like that it eventually I adapted and that just became my.
What I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you will be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew. Don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama. Only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they this $20 million guy, but they reached $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these business.
Personal failings, while the real story of corruption, exploitation, and power remained hidden behind the glitz. And yet, despite the relentless pressure, both artists stood firm, refusing to let the system dictate their morals or silence their voices. Their stories expose a truth few dare to acknowledge, that the world of fame is not simply about talent, hard work, or charisma, but about who will bend, who will obey, and who will survive the carefully engineered machinery built to reward submission and punish defiance. If this story has you questioning everything you thought you knew about the music industry and Hollywood, then you're not alone. Petey Pablo and Terrence Howard didn't just survive, they spoke out, exposing a system that rewards compliance and punishes integrity. And now, it's your turn to witness the truth. Think about it. How many other careers vanished overnight because someone refused to play along? How many secrets are buried behind the velvet ropes, the flashing cameras, and the red carpet smiles? It's not just entertainment. It's a lesson in power, control, and the price of standing your ground. Don't scroll past this. Don't ignore it, because these revelations matter. Hit that like button to show you care about the stories the industry wants buried. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and tell us who you think is next in line for exposure. Subscribe to miss the deep dives that peel back the glitter and reveal the machinery underneath. Share this video, spread the word, and keep your eyes open, because the truth doesn't wait for anyone. And every time someone refuses to bend, we get a glimpse of the real world behind the fame. Stay alert, stay informed, and remember that knowledge is power. The more we know, the harder it is for the system to hide its secrets.